You accidentally spill a bottle of holy water on your printer. Now it works perfectly, with no paper jams, no loud noises, and the ink lasts a long time. Turns out literally all printers are possessed, and yours is now the first non-evil printer ever. Story 1. God damn it, not now. Index screamed, cast aside his papers before the holy water drenched his project files. He left his table, searching for a dry blanket in the kitchen. He glanced at the watch and realized he had 2 hours left before the deadline. This is why you don't put holy water in a bottle next to a printer. He cursed, rushing into his room. But no, Mom said placing holy water next to a PC will bless the device. As if God knows how to make a copy of hundreds of pages of this stupid poster. Bullshit. He knew Mr. Byrne assigned it at the last moment, expecting the result by tonight. As the legend said, the printer smells fear, and now he barely printed a single page from the stupid thing. Noisy, constant jamming. And he ran out of ink again. He froze at his doorstep, watching a strange dark smoke escaping the interior of the black printer. Was his contact lens making trouble again? He rubbed his eyes, but the sight before him hadn't changed. No, no, no. Don't fry yourself now. Index leaped to the machine. Odd, no smell, no stains, but the dark smoke faded away into thin air. He swore he heard whispers from the evaporating gas. Like screaming souls. Yeah, I need my meds later. He pried open the machine and made a quick survey. No short circuit? Then what the hell was that smoke? The printer suddenly made a loud clicking sound and began printing while the cover remained open. He reassembled the whole thing and took a step back. It began swallowing the paper on the trays in a blink of an eye. Index gasped, watching papers flying out from the side. What the F-? He examined the screen and saw the printing numbers exceeding dozens of copies in less than a second. He picked one copy from the ground and witnessed the cleanest color he ever saw coming out of the old machine. The ink was supposed to last only a few pages left. He approached the machine, avoided stepping hundreds of papers on the floor, and turned it off. One trace of smoke slipped out from the power button. This time, he heard it clearly. We failed you, our lords. This printer is cleansed. They have the weapon to kill us. It froze in front of his eyes. Well done, mortal. But we are many. We will drive your kind to despair. The printer master will sway you from the eyes of the god dash. Shut up and let me work. Index took the holy water, dipped his fingers into the bottle, and sprinkled it on the evil creature. It screamed and faded away, leaving his printer strangely clean like brand new. He examined the holy water and smiled. Well, I guess you're right, Mom. This is a blessing. Story 2. I stood before the printer for what felt like the 14th time today. I'm just trying to print something, damn, I muttered. Not like I'm asking an oven to freeze something for me. The printer sat on its own little table, like a dedicated shrine. Sometimes, I wondered if praying was the only way to get it to work. And then I would pray, and find out that it still doesn't work. Figures. I used the table to house some other things, of course. Better that it goes to some use, rather than just housing a big, useless printer. I reached out to a bottle of supposedly holy water, a gag gift picked up from a brick-and-mortar gift shop that I would try and recall, before giving up in about a minute after realizing that it looked virtually identical to every other gift shop in my mind. And then I spilled it. In horrifying slow motion, I watched water splash across the printer, each droplet seemingly finding the worst spots to seep themselves into. I cowered, half expecting an explosion to take out my entire house and my life with it. There was the unfamiliar sound of a printer working smoothly. I couldn't describe it, because I've never heard it in my life. There was the lack of the usual gummy gears, the incessant clanking of metal, just the smooth sound of a piece of paper coming out. There were no weird red lines on it. No fading. It was as if I printed it right from the digital page. I stared at the bottle of holy water, dripping its last drops. Lord, I whispered, a silent prayer welling from within me. Then, there was a knock on the door. Still in rapture from my printer working properly, I blissfully hopped towards the front door, and opened it. Outside, what looked to be a vaguely human-shaped creature stood, if one ignored the boundaries of color, and excused the presence of two large black horns grinning widely. I should have been startled, but I've just experienced a miracle. Forgive me. I'm here to fix your printer, he said. No thanks, I smiled. Really, you couldn't come at a worse time. I just had my best print of my entire life, even. The demon's face grew dark, and very unhuman-like teeth bared itself. I'm here, he said again, this time with trickling menace. To fix your printer. Seriously, I said. It's appreciated, but you know. The demon leaped at me, wings unfurling itself and tearing out of the mechanic's suit. I tried to dodge, but only tripped myself in the process, landing on the floor with a thump. Cold fear froze my heart and ran through my veins, but I was unscathed. The demon had gone for the printer instead. Blame my boss for this, the demon snarled, raising a clawed hand towards the printer. The decree: nothing can be black and white. Story 3. I pinch the bridge of my nose as the guy's roommate hands me a cold drink. He is super excited. Glad this perked him up. You realize he thinks he dumped holy water on a printer and it is now blessed, right? Well, John has been, he is a good guy. Hasn't even noticed you called me and I swapped you out with a new printer. Yeah, he is calling the gray-brown stain the devil rinsed from the machine. That is called dirt. No one, and no one, cleans inside these things. They shove them in a corner. Spill coffee on them. Let them collect dust. Shove random paper-like sheets into them. Then beat the crap out of a precision electronic machine when it fails. You sound annoyed. Do you know why I brought a new printer? You knew he would mess the old one up that bad? Yes, but no. Your friend bought a service contract. Parts and labor. He pays $100 a month for the service. The machine he insured is a $50 inkjet. It would cost us more to fix it than to toss it in the trash and give you a brand new one. Same when the ink runs out. So why the long face? Because when he is done dancing he will be back to kicking that thing like he is a cheap villain and it is a puppy. Then he will pour varying things on it to cleanse the spirits till he either electrocutes himself or it catches fire. Oh. Anyway, thanks. I need to call tech support for the computer. It's unplugged. What? Your friend unplugged it from the wall to plug in his fan. Have a nice day. And yes, if anyone asks, I have done customer service tech support. Story 4. We've been working from home for a long time. First it was the quarantine, then another quarantine, then another. You get the idea. It's been okay so far, if it wasn't for my darn printer. Thing has been annoying me for the whole year. Lots of loud noises, the ink cartridge saying it's low when it's at least still a quarter full, jams every other time. I swear the thing is just out to spite me. I can't just get a new one, but my co-workers express the same amount of stress over their own. Just seems like a universal thing. Anyhow, my parents sent me this small vial of holy water. Said it was to keep your faith when you can't come to church with us. I don't have the heart to tell them that I stopped being religious years ago, so I just accepted it. I keep it on my desk beside my monitor, as a cute reminder of my parents. But ever since that vial got here, the printer has gone bonkers. More noises, more jams, less ink. It's gotten to the point where I can't even use it. I've tried everything in the book, reading the manual, talking to IT, even slapping the thing out of anger a few times. I'm running out of options. Really, dude? I breath jokingly towards another printer freak out. I fall back into my chair and spy my small vial. And I laugh to myself at what I'm about to do. I pick it up and unscrew the top. The printer screams like I've never heard it scream before. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I shout over it, as I splash the water onto its front panel. It sizzles, it smokes, and it screams. Then silence. Sweet silence. From then on, the printer has worked perfectly. No loud noises, no paper jams, and lots of ink left. I would be extremely happy, if it weren't for my confusion mixed with a real bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. I don't know how, and I don't know why. 6 days after my printer cleaned up its act, I get a phone call. The caller ID said IT, so I assumed it was them getting back to me about my previous calls. Hell's IT department, my name is Gadrathana, how can I help you? Someone says. Sounded like a woman who smoked a pack a day for 40 years. I'm sorry, Hell's IT department? Yes, that's us. What do you need? What do you mean? You called me. I don't need anything. I chuckle. I thought it was some prank call. I moved to hang up the phone. Yes you do, that's why we called. I tried to hang up, but it wouldn't let me. I was stuck on the call, and I couldn't even turn my phone off. I suppose my phone? It's starting to have trouble. Was this a dream? No Han, it's not your phone. That works perfectly fine. It's about your printer. My printer? I got that fixed a few days ago. Works fine now. Oh good. The voice seemed to change. Now, they sounded like a young man. If the young man was talking to you through an inch of concrete. Do you mind if we do a quick check? Just a few questions. What happened to your voice? First question. They ignored my question. Since your printer has gotten fixed, have you heard any screeching, screaming, howling, or whispering from your device? And how loudly would you scale its performance? No, perfect silence. No noise since it got fixed. Oh. Second question. Switching voices again, they now sounded like a small child with something caught in their throat. Has your device been properly jamming up work, and how often? No jamming, it's been working smoothly. They sounded a little more worried. Either that, or it was just the natural warble of the voice of the whispering woman on the other line. Third question. When your ink cartridges are low, how low will the device allow the cartridge to be used? I suppose around 5%, after a warning from 15%, then it won't let me use them. 5%? An angry, slurring voice of a man shouted. Who fixed your printer? Your device is practically unusable. Capet. Crap. I need to report this person immediately. I fixed it. On my own. Walk me through exactly what you did, replied the 80-year-old man. Well, it was throwing a fit again, and I didn't know what else to do. So I threw some holy water at it and said in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I swear I was joking, but apparently it worked. The person on the other end was silent for a few seconds. Then answered a sickly sweet, young woman's voice. I'm going to refer you to a higher level of management to help you with your issue. Please wait patiently, and thank you for calling Hell's IT department. Then I was put on hold. For 2 hours. During that time, I tried my best to go about my usual work day. Using my printer, which was still fine. The hold was occasionally interrupted, just at the good parts of the music, might I add, by the same voice, thank you for calling Hell's IT department. Please wait patiently, we are finding an employee to help you with your issue. I finally got to someone on the other end of the line. Barth Amos asked the same questions, and I told him the same answers. Then again for Yondrauja, Chromust, and someone else with an 11-syllable name. By the time I got to him, my work was finished an hour ago. Hell's IT department, this is Lucifer, how may I help you? A voice boomed. Not yelling, just loud and confident. This has to be a joke, right? I thought to myself. Yes, hello. I've been put on hold all day, and talked to 5 people about my apparent issue and no one has given me answers? So I have heard. Said Lucifer. You performed an exorcism on a low-level printer demon. And that's an issue because? Every printer is assigned a demon. We do not have the knowledge of the why or how this happens. But you managed to exorcise one, which no human on earth has been able to accomplish. It was all I could respond with. Your assigned printer demon has filed a complaint against you. Seriously? What am I even supposed to do about that? You have no need to do anything, the complaint has been removed because we are just as confused as you are. Enjoy your demon-free printer, and thank you for calling Hell's IT department. The call ended there. With a day wasted about absolute nonsense of demon-infested printers, I decided to take a nap to clear my head. Just as I was about to fall into a blissful sleep, my phone started to ring again. I pick up the call and hear. Good evening. This is Heaven's Demon Human Relations Department. My name is Matthew, and we have heard that you have been contacted by Hell. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, YouTube thinks you might like these videos.